Hi, joyous day to all of you. I'm Manish Shankar here again, author of the book When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a Child, to share synopsis of my book in short videos from time to time. Parenting, parentage, and value-based education. We all have all this in different measures. As a children, our parentage could have been different. What we have imbibed from our mother, father, grandparents, aunt, uncle, brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews. We grow up building up values knowingly or unknowingly, mostly unknowingly. It gets imbibed in us. And as we reach to the age of adolescence and adulthood, there we are with what we have grown up. Now, parenting is what our elders at home, the mother and father, and those who matter to us a lot, who have molded us, who have given us the values, who have told us what is right, what is wrong in life. Now, the best way for parenting is to set a life of example for parents who are bringing up their children. We can be a very highly knowledgeable people, we can have values, we can talk to our children about so many things in life, what you should do, what you should not do, but all these things are insignificant. Trust me, these are all insignificant compared to what you can live a life of example. After all, every human being, every one of us are copycats. I remember I have grown up looking at how my father conducted his life, how my mom conducted her life, and how my grandfather conducted his life. And it's not only with me, with every one of you who is watching this video and every one of you here under the sun. We are all copycats. And so what we really imbibe is not what has been instructed to us, but what we have been seeing it, perceiving it with our five senses. And there again, in schools and colleges, our teachers play a very great role. Another very important aspect which comes to my mind talking about upbringing of the child is the education. The education what the child gets in school, in colleges. Education has to be sensitized by giving value-based teachings to the children rather than facts-based education to the children. Material-based education is of course necessary, no doubt about it, but then value-based education is very, very important, and I think so many governments and nations are opening up to this reality of facts, and it gives a good scope for the child to come up. Now, these are the three variants. How much as a child one has been able to look up to the parents, imbibe and come up in life. How much the parents have set up as an example and they have been able to bring up the children, and how much the society, including the educational institutions, has given the child a value-based education, imparted a value-based education so that it is able to bloom into this world as a very good citizen. Now, these are the three varying factors. These things are not equally given. Everyone is not having an opportunity to learn, to get the best of all these three as they grow up. It is all in a relatively different manner that the children get it. So, can we say that values in life for anybody can never be perfect? There is no perfection in values. Let's understand that. It is futility to say that I'm going to be a perfect man, I'm going to try and get knowledge as I grow up and to practice habits and to imbibe habits which are going to make me as a perfect man. No, if you're thinking that you want to achieve perfection in life, well, you have really not been imbibed with the values of education. When you're working in a very steadfast manner, imbibing these values continuously, you can get to a level of relative awakening. When you get to a level of relative awakening, there you are prepared to accept your mistakes. There you are prepared to apologize for the acts of guilt that you have committed. There you are prepared to accept success with humility and then keep going on your journey. As I told you before in one of my other videos, happiness is losing ourselves of what we are not. Does it mean that we have a lot of things which doesn't belong to us? Yes, of course. We add a lot of values which really doesn't belong to us. In the name of values, we start attaching importance to the material things around us. Well, we must have importance relatively, but we should not get stuck with it in a very strong manner, which then leads us to possessiveness in life. Now, if this is the way that if we can look at life, then we come to a level of what is called as detached responsibility in whatever we are doing. A detached responsibility. What is detached responsibility? Detached responsibility is nothing but not attaching values to external things and being grounded in our internal values and understanding. If we are able to be grounded in internal values and understanding and not attaching ourselves with external things that we look around, this will definitely give us a relatively a better and better level of awakenings. Now, we will be able to easily identify a person who is happy in life. You want to see a person who is happy in life? Find out if he has got a detached attachment. Find out if he has got a way of looking at things that he is not going to possess this forever. Find out if he has got an understanding of this life from one without much of jealousiness. Find out if he is still having the childlike heart in him and goes around. The childlike heart automatically comes to you, the spontaneity automatically comes to you once you are up with this relative awakening, not trying to look at perfections in things, trying to being able to accept imperfections and trying to become a better and better person. Now, talking of all these things, we would also like to talk about looking at life from a very microscopic subatomic levels, which of course we'll talk in the next video. And also one of the most important thing in being able to be a person of detached responsibility is how much you are able to use your free will. If you are able to use your free will, if something is there which is the material thing which is dragging you inside, and your free will says that, hey, that's not for you, and just keep enjoying it but don't get possessed of it, and that is where you are using your free will. If you are able to use your free will, then your path towards higher and higher levels of awakening is very easy. We'll keep talking about this. Next time I want to talk to you guys, I want to talk to you on this entire world of manifestation and creativity which has come out of energy levels, which we find at the subatomic levels. The entire universe exists in a very serene atmosphere, and amongst this, we in a limited human body jumping around here and there with a lot of anxieties and worries, which is totally artificial, which is totally not related to this world, which is the cooking up confusion of our wrong understanding. We need to, once we are able to incisively look into that, once we are able to understand that, who won't like to wash their hands if their hands are dirty? But the thing is, we need to understand that the hand is dirty. Once we are able to understand this, we wash our hands of all the dirt of values inside us, and then we progressively bloom as a beautiful flower and then make the best use of this life. Hey guys, take care. See you next time. Just subscribe to my channel by clicking the bell icon at the right hand side bottom corner of the video that you're viewing.